everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I would like to welcome you all to my speech. Donald Frost once said, drugs that take you to hell, disguised as heaven. Drug addiction in our society today is a huge problem, where if the solution is not present, it could eventually and unfortunately result in the end of the individual's life. The American Addiction Center article states that 38% of adults in America are battling drug disorder or drug addiction every year, which is a huge number, and it is a devastating number. In today's speech, I will be talking about the reasons why people get addicted to drugs, the effects of drug addiction on people, and the solutions. What can we do? In today's speech, I will be talking specifically about reasons such as family environment disorder, such as the history of past family members' drug abuse, and mental illnesses such as depression. I'll be talking about effects such as death and other health effects, and I'll be talking about solutions such as the will to change, and the MFI Recovery Center. To start things up, let us start up talking about the reasons why people get addicted to drugs. The number one, I will be talking about three reasons. The number one reason would be family disorder. When the family is going through a hectic time, when the parents are getting divorced, when there is an abusive dad or abusive mother, when children are infringed to these, when parents are in utter stress and all the time stress, and they are in utter bickering, and the environment is just an utter disorder. It results in family members resulting to the use of drugs in order to release themselves of the stress and the disorder. Medline Press article states that if your home is an unhappy place, or was when you were growing up, you might be more likely to have a drug problem than others. One of my friends back home, his family members were going through divorce. His parent was a very violent his dad was a very violent person. He used to hit him a lot, and due to this reason he was introduced to drugs, and he took it once and twice, and he got hooked up on it. He got addicted to it, and he could not stop, and eventually he got expelled from school, and now he is in a recovery, and his dreams were shattered and his life exploded just through seeing his dad and mom bickering and his dad being abusive all the time. The second reason would be history of family members using it. So such as when there is a young person who is in the family, and they look to the role models, which are most of the time their older siblings, their dad or mother, and one of these members are abusing drugs, they are addicted to drugs, they think that this is the normal, they think this is the right thing to do, so eventually, unfortunately, they get addicted to abusing drugs from a young age. The SAMHSA article stated that 2.1 million, 2.9%, which is equivalent to 9%, 17 years old, children ranging 17 years old or younger, have lived with a parent that had abused drugs or is abusing drugs as of now. Another reason would be mental illnesses. Many people who see themselves through depression, who don't want to talk to people, who think that their lives is an utter disaster, who think that their life is not worth living, due to some situation, some circumstances, they get depressed. So they think that the solution for the depression is taking drugs, is getting high. But unfortunately, it does present a possible solution, but this solution leads to catastrophic results where they end up taking their life from drug abuse. They end up becoming homeless, and they end up in an utter disaster. The Dual Diagnostic article says that substance abuse is very common to people with depression as well. They are the most people that are infringed on substance abuse. Moving on, let us start talking about the effects of drug abuse on people. Death is the worst thing that can happen to a family member, where it leaves people devastated. It leaves children devastated. It leaves devastating results, where if a family member died, such as the father of a child, this child is depressed and is grieving and is devastated. many people who use drugs and drugs end up taking their lives, which they end up leaving behind family members who love them, who cared for them, and who want them to see them better and better. But unfortunately, they leave them behind in devastating situation. They are grieving and they are depressed. It is an utter disaster. As I am saying, a CDC article states that 70,000 people die from drug overdose yearly in the USA. These 70,000 people have had a family, have a family to care that care for them, have people that they love them. They once had dreams that shuttered due to drug abuse. They once had a life, a blooming life, that was destroyed due to them abusing drugs, which is unfortunately. Another effect would be the physical effect on the people, and emotional effect, and the effect on the environment around them. It can affect their co-workers, everybody that they interact with on a daily basis. And unfortunately, abusing drugs could lead to diseases such as kidney and liver diseases, which these diseases on some occasions could transfer genetically from a generation to generation, where if the mother wants to give labor to a child, the child comes out with the child is born with these disgusting and disturbing diseases such as kidney, or he is addicted to heroin, or he's addicted to drugs, which is catastrophic. It is utter discussion. But at the end of every dark tunnel, there is a light, and the light is here. There are solutions to this problem. There are solutions that every person could go through to come better, and to come to their family members, to come to their children stronger and better. One of the solution is to be willing. Before starting anything, before going through anything, you have to be willing. The individual has to be willing to go through the process. The recovery process is not a process of a day or two. It is sometimes takes months to years, and it is a very hard. It exposes you to sieges. It exposes you to a lot of disgusting things. So the uttermost thing is to be willing to go through the journey. And I would propose to everybody that is wanting to go through the journey but doesn't have the will, to write down on a piece of paper the things that he wants to do it for, such as family members, his health, his parents, his kids, his cousins. And then once in the process, look at this paper and restate the people that you want to do it for, restate the things that you want to do it for a better future. And once you have the will and the power to do it, then you go contact a recovery center, which one of my favorite is MFI. They are a low budget. They have programs for everybody. It's either if you're struggling with drug addiction, with any kind of drug addiction, with substance, with anything, they have the right facilities, and they have the right people to do the right job. There are many more, of course, but this is one of my favorite. But this is one of my favorite, and I would like to urge everybody to simply make a small donation. And some people would say, oh, a small donation won't make any change. Well, I promise you that your small donation, what you can offer, what you can afford to donate, will make a huge change in the lives of many people, in the lives of people that were once hoping for a better future, but then got destroyed due to them taking drugs for reasons that they could not control. So I would like to urge everybody to go ahead and donate to these recovery centers. The MFI is one of them. They accept donations, and there are many, such as the Salvation Army. They have their own recovery center, many more. To conclude things, I would like to mention that each and every single person of us had time where they reached all-time low, and they had time where they reached rock bottom. They had a time where they were struggling with a disease. They were struggling with something. But the problem is not us going through it. It is to find solutions. We had the good things for us to find solutions. We had to keep moving and to find the right solutions. It is very important for us to find the right solutions for our personal situation. Drug abuse can result from a lot of reasons, such as family disorder, such as family history of using drugs, and such as mental illnesses. And it could have a drastic effect, such as it could be the main purpose that could end the individual's life, or it could have physical and emotional damage and effect on the person. And on the other hand, there is a solution. If you have the will and the power to do it, there are the right facilities, there are the recovery centers that you can go through. Their budget budget friendly, they are low budget. Sometimes they have free programs, and you can go through it and you can get better for your family and for yourself. To end things, to conclude things, I would like to mention a quote by Carrie Fisher. He once said, "Sometimes you can only find heaven by slowly backing away from hell." I would urge everybody who's struggling with drug abuse, with drug addiction, to go ahead and go to the right facilities, go seek the right solutions, and get yourself out of this problem, because there are family members, there are people that you love, there are people that love you back, that wants to see you better and do better. So go ahead, do it for them, for yourself, for your health, and for your future for your future self. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.